Welcome everybody to Mike's Minute. We're a little bit late this weekend, but we're going to get out this week, but we're going to get out to you. Mike, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you, I think I have a great idea. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to make my picks known to everybody.
Yep.
And then what all they have to do is pick the opposite team. It's the Tyler Fitzgerald type thing because no
Fair
matter
enough.
what I pick, it's wrong. It is absolutely wrong. This weekend, I couldn't pick a darn thing. 6 games in the lower bracket, I've got 5 of them wrong. It was unbelievable. One after the other, after the other, after the other. I was just looking at it going, I can't get anything right here. It was
Right.
crazy.
Well, you weren't the only one. There was a lot of people, that were picking all over the place, and high, low, and nothing turned out. But as always with this, there's four people that seem to figure it out, and that for week 14, Roger Mailloux at 147. Jerry Boulet at 153, and that slid him into the top spot overall. Greg Savicki at 154 and Charles Funk at 155. So pretty impressive, and especially that 147 by Roger. Uh, in terms of the overall standings, Jerry Boulet at 1909, Mike Russell at 1911, Mike Curry at 1925, and Richard Pomelo at 1928.
Wow, that's,
Yeah.
that's
So it's a tight race, and we still have 4 weeks to go. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to have to kick it up to high gear to get a hold of get away from Jerry.
well, it's crazy upsets this week. It was just one like Tampa and New Orleans. New Orleans can't beat anybody. They come down here, pouring rain, because I was here Sunday, pouring rain. Figured, okay, Tampa's going to win this. It's going to be an easy win, 7 points at least.
Yeah.
No, not a chance.
Any week when you get New Orleans, Tennessee, and Minnesota winning, and throw in Tampa there, and then Pittsburgh upsets Baltimore one after another.
Well,
Yeah.
like Minnesota didn't score a point last week.
I know.
Like it was crazy. Like I couldn't get over it. Just one after the other after the other.
Yeah.
Even my Dolphins shocked me. I thought, okay, they haven't got nothing. Tua's hip is hurting him. He's regressing. He's getting worse. He can't throw the ball anymore. They're gonna get killed up there. No. Oh, and he can't throw a cold ball. Nope. They won. Like
Okay.
I
Well,
couldn't pick anything right. Just not a thing.
well, there was a lot of people struggling with that, and so I'm not sure that this week is going to be any different because I was looking at it here. I don't have a printer, so I had to write everything down, but a lot of games that could go really high on the scores, and there's a few others that I think could be fairly close. So it's going to be a very interesting weekend.
Well, let's take a look at this. We've
Sure.
got the games up now. Okay, I'm in Tampa. Tampa, this is a big game for Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa against Atlanta. Atlanta can't do a thing. I'm not confident Tampa's going to win this. I don't know. I just can't tell you. Like, what do you think? Dale, what do you got? Tampa or Atlanta?
Tampa is so bad right now. I mean, you look at their last four games; they are terrible, and they're losing to poor teams. Look what they did on the weekend, for heaven's sake.
No.
I mean, you can't go out there and just keep losing to teams like would they lose to New Orleans, for heaven's sake?
New
Yeah.
Orleans.
But
They lost to New
Atlanta,
Orleans.
Atlanta is no world beater either. So
No.
I think maybe that's going to be a low scoring, close game
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah. I,
I,
what do you got,
I
Mike?
Well, I agree with everything Dale has said, and the Bucks have not shown what they were doing at the start of the season, although they seem to be getting a little healthier. I think the Bucks are going to take this simply because they've got to, otherwise they're just going to fall right out of the orbit. So
Yeah.
I would give them maybe 4 points on that one, but
It's
Well,
funny, Mike, when I hear you say that, it's funny because, that they're going to win because they have to. I've gotten burned, I think, the last 4 weeks. Every Sunday, Kansas City must win this one. and
Yeah.
they haven't won squat.
Oh, don't talk about Kansas City, Dale. I'm
Yeah.
fed up with them. But I will tell you that weather in Tampa is going to be a little cooler for Tampa. It's going to be in the 60s, uh, possibly dropping into the 50s, but it's going to be a dry field. And so I agree with you. I think Tampa's going to win that one because I had to believe that the rain had something to do with it last week. Hey, listen, um, Chicago blew it last week. I
Yeah.
can't tell you against Green Bay. They had that game. 4th and 1, the guy decide they go to the end zone. Like, what are they thinking?
Yeah, last play.
Last
Yeah.
play.
I know, and but they the last few games they've won in the sort of the last couple of minutes type thing, and
Yeah.
maybe they figured they could do it again, but obviously not.
No.
But
Well,
it'll be an interesting game against the Browns because I think the Bears obviously are going to win that one and by a good healthy margin as well. So
You
what do
know,
you think,
Cleveland
Dale?
cannot score. Everybody talks about their defense, and then they give up 30 points every week, but they
yeah,
cannot score.
Yeah. Well,
yep,
the week before, if you watch Chicago, they ran all over the team that they were playing. They never ran the ball this week. They could not get a running game. I don't understand why they went away from it. Caleb cannot throw a ball. Run
No,
the darn thing. Ah, I'm just so frustrated with him. Okay, these games are all good. Like the first
yes.
5 games, Cincinnati, Baltimore, both teams suck, and they need the win. The Cincinnati are probably out of the playoffs now. Baltimore definitely needs to win, but they're no shoe in to win this game.
you know, last week Cincinnati Burrows threw two. I think he'd had two interceptions all
Yeah,
year. You know, before he's injured. Then on two consecutive plays, he throws interceptions. They should have won that game against
yep,
Buffalo. Buffalo's
yep.
a world beater. But I'm
Yep.
going with Cincy. I mean, Joe Burrows looks like $1 million out there. That
Oh,
that whole Cincy team is just rejuvenated now that he's back.
yeah,
They look like they're all, you know, Super Bowl contenders.
you're right.
Yeah, and I would agree with that because you know Burrows has made the difference, and with the Ravens, they are just not playing well as far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
Uh, you know their quarterback has lost his mobility, which means he's lost his effectiveness. So I think the Bengals would love to knock the Ravens back down a little farther as well too. So
Yeah, especially they also have a weak defense, and since he just smells blood on a weak defense, on a good defense they smell blood. You can imagine what they're going to do against a weak defense like Baltimore. But
yeah,
it's
and
me, it,
they can bring the Ravens back down to them as well too.
uh,
So
yeah, they're a little out of it now. I think they got 4 wins. Not a chance they're going to make the playoffs. Uh,
Spoilers.
oh, I don't know. They're in the potential. You know, like if they've got a few games they can win.
yeah,
I think there's a good chance for them. So
if they win out, like even if they win out, the best like, I think is 9-8 or 8-8, or 8-9. Maybe 9-8. I don't think 9-8 is going to make the playoffs.
I don't
Unless
know.
unless they win the division. Unless they win that
Well,
division. Now that's different. They
yeah.
could
Well, and I think they could. You know, they
yeah,
could get past Steelers and the Ravens. So
yeah. All right, we got to talk about Kansas City. I think the
yeah,
end of a dynasty we're seeing right now.
yeah.
They look bad. Los Angeles look great. Another game in Kansas City. They must those people at Arrowhead Stadium must be pulling their hair out watching their team lose every week. What
Yeah.
do you got, Dale?
You
Kansas
know,
City, LA.
wow, that it's so easy.
Chargers.
LA big. Kansas City can't put up any more than like 14, 17 points. I'm getting tired of it week after week. Mahomes scrambling around. They don't have, they're full of injuries now. After last week, I think they dragged like 5 players off the field. You know, they're done. And
Yeah,
here you have Los Angeles is rolling. They're probably the #1 team in the NFL right now.
Yep.
I mean, what's the outcome going to be? It's pretty obvious.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, the Chiefs are going nowhere. The like Dale says, a lot of injuries. Mahone is trying to make things happen, but there's nobody there to do it with. And the Chargers are coming on strong, and so I think it's just going to be another thrashing there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
A great game this weekend, 1 o'clock game too. Too bad it should be Sunday night. Buffalo and New England.
yeah,
This is a statement game for New England. They win this one. They've already beat them once.
Yep.
Yeah.
They win this one. Nobody's going to question New England. In fact, they'll probably be the favorite to win the AFC East. And not the East, but the AFC conference.
Yeah. Conference. Yeah.
So what do you got?
You know, Josh Allen is saving Buffalo week after week. He makes these in the last 7 or 8 minutes. He makes these heroic plays, great passes, or there's a fumble by the other team. Buffalo, they're getting some breaks. They should have lost to Cincinnati. I watched that game. As far as I'm concerned, it was the turnovers from Burrows that were just unexpected. But I'm going with New England. I mean, New England won before. They're a more solid team because they have a better defense. And Drake May is playing well, but I just don't think Allen, I love Buffalo, but I just don't think Allen could keep it up making these heroic plays at the end of games and relying on turnovers just at the right time.
The bold statement.
Yeah, I would agree. It's going to be a very close game, and it's probably going to come down to one play because Josh Allen, has been around for a long while. He's capable of making those big plays. But the Pats have been playing extremely well, very consistently. I think they've got 9 wins in a row, and not all 0-17 teams type thing. So they beat some good teams, and I think it's especially because it's at home. I think that'll give them the edge as well. So
I agree.
Another good game in Denver, Green Bay and Denver, big game. Green Bay won last week on the last play. Denver just barely got by. Both are in the playoffs, more than likely in the playoffs, but it's still a big game because they want to get the top seeds. Where do you stand on this one, Dale?
You know something? Denver is doing it with mirrors. I can't believe the record they have. Bo Nix is, to me, he is just nothing. He can't do anything. I mean, he'll have easy passes outlet passes. He throws it over the guy's head. They don't really allow him to throw downfield that much unless they're playing catch up. Green Bay is so solid. I must say Jordan Love is playing well, but they've got a defense. So does Denver. They're probably the same on defense.
Yeah.
But offensively, you can't compare Jordan Love to Bo Nix. Bo Nix is doing it with mirrors. His defense is saving, turnovers, saving games for him, but he's not a guy that's going to go anywhere. So I can see Green Bay winning that by a touchdown.
Okay. Wow.
yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, they're favored by 1.5, so that's interesting. Another great game. The LA Rams against Detroit. They're playing in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Good game. Detroit, they've got to do something. This is a statement game for them because they lose this one and they might even fall out of the playoffs. Dale?
Yeah, actually, I got mixed up before. I thought they were playing KC. It's the Chargers playing KC when I made those comments. I mean, the LA Rams are the real deal. And, they're just rolling up points. Matt Stafford there is so good. He's not throwing interceptions and just clutch play. I mean, the only game they've lost at about the last 8, they lost to somebody 31-28 a couple of weeks ago. But they still put up a lot of points, and they could have won the game. It was a bit of a letdown game for them. But no, I'm thinking, Los Angeles, I know there's a lot of rivalry because of the trade with Goff and Stafford there years ago. And this is the game they both get up for. But I think as well, Detroit, if I'm not mistaken, is favored by like 5.5 points. I just don't get that.
No, the Rams are favored by 5.5.
Oh, it is the Rams. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the line is 5.5 Rams.
Okay. Well, it's all Rams for me. It's in Ramsville out on the West Coast. And Detroit just hasn't been the same. The last 4 or 5 games, they're just not in sync. They're not putting up the 35, 40 points they used to, and they're losing. So you got to go with Rams.
Rams, yeah, no, the Rams have been very consistent for a while, and like you said, Stafford is extremely good, very very solid QB. So I see them winning this. It'll be close, I think, but probably by 5.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah. So too bad you weren't in New Orleans, Mike, because you could have got a ticket for $14 to watch the game. Not bad.
Oh,
Carolina. Um, this would have been a good game. I doubt it's going to be a good game. Indianapolis and Seattle.
yeah.
Indianapolis has been fading, and now without Daniel Jones there, Seattle has been really playing well. This could knock Indy out of the playoffs. They're 8-5, I think, or 8-6. I can't no 8-5, and this would make them 8-6, and really question whether they're even going to make the playoffs after starting the season like something like 7-1 or something. So
Yeah, but especially now that they're signing up Philip Rivers,
yeah,
who's been out of
44
it
years old.
for 44, and he's been out
Oh,
of
good
it for probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, they're going to get their asses whipped on that one. So
Oh,
But you
so
look at that. I mean, John. I mean, with Leonard in there now replacing Daniel Jones, like he was terrible. As you'd expect.
yeah,
New to the field, but I mean, they did nothing. They were no threat. When Jones went down, that game was over. And I mean, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars let up a little bit too. But you're talking in Seattle. As far as I'm concerned, you compare Seattle similar records to Denver. Like they're light years ahead of Denver.
Yeah.
Seattle can score with Darnold. I mean, they're a real team. I could see them being a Super Bowl threat.
yeah.
They're really gelling. They're winning. They're putting up a lot of points. And they kind of look like Detroit did 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But there's no way Indianapolis is even going to be close to them. I picked them by 10 points.
Well, that's what the line is right now. And you would have never said that about 3 weeks ago.
No, I liked Indy. I thought
Yeah.
with Jones, I thought they were going, but they're terrible right now. The last
They
4
are
weeks.
playing
yeah,
off.
they're struggling. Yeah,
So the
yeah,
final
and
game we'll talk about today, Minnesota and Dallas. I wouldn't have talked about Minnesota, but they came to life last week. JJ McCarthy had his best game of his life. Dallas is playing well, despite I think losing last week. They're playing well, and Dallas is favored by 6. Dale, what do you got here?
Last week, believe it or not, I mean, Minnesota won by 31 points. I don't know where that came from. I picked Washington against them.
So did
I
I.
mean, you couldn't believe it. Washington looked like they were gelling. The 2 weeks before that, Minnesota with McCarthy, nothing was happening. So I think that was kind of a fluke game for them. I think in Dallas and Prescott are pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
I just toss out that last game by Minnesota. I think Dallas will eat them alive. I don't know what the line is, but I mean, I'd have to think a touchdown there easily.
yeah, I would agree that a touchdown for the Cowboys over the Vikings. So,
Well,
and it could be more because I think, like you said, last week was an odd game for the Vikings. They did nothing the week before. Commanders fell apart, so they got lucky. But I don't see it happening against the Cowboys.
Exactly.
right. So, Mike, before we sign off, is there any
Right.
special instructions for this week?
No, there's no early games, so all looking good. Yeah, no, best of luck to everybody. And like I said, I think it's still going to be an interesting game. There's probably several of them that could be high scoring, and there's what I had was 3 of them at least that are going to be close: Packers, Broncos, Lions, Rams, Bills, and Pats. So next Tuesday will be very interesting to see who's standing on top.
Well, I can tell you from my point of view, it can't get any worse. If you lose all your games, it can't get any worse than that, can it?
By the way, congrats, Mike, on hanging tough there around first place. I think you're like 2 points out. I can tell you the last 4 weeks are really tough when you're at the top trying to stay there because it's easy to get too conservative and just
Yes.
drift back. That's what happened to me. I was up there like 5-6 weeks ago, started
Yeah.
getting too conservative, and now I'm like 35 points out of 4. But you look at last week. I mean, if you wanted, and I'm sure both of you guys looked at some of those picks. There were like 7 upsets. If you'd picked some of those, just 3 of those upsets that you probably thought when you were penciling in, yeah, I can see this happening, but I don't want to do it because if I'm wrong, everybody's got the favorite. If you'd
Yep.
gone with that, you could have picked up 25 points.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and you know, and yeah, Jerry's got me by 2 points there, but you know, this week's another week, so
Yeah.
well, I'll make him work for it. So
I think I'm going to do an audit on Jerry because how did he do this last week? Like it's ridiculous. What does he know that we don't know? Like we're watching the same games. I'm watching every single game. I
yeah,
don't understand. What
But
is
you
no,
know,
he, yeah,
it's tough up there because you look at some of the guys up there just in like fifth place and third. I think Mike Curry and Jeff Goldman. These are wolves. These guys know how to move up the board
Yeah.
and well positioned. So it's going to be interesting to see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah, exactly. So
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll get this out to you Wednesday morning, Mike. You'll have this out, or even tonight. I
okay,
will get this to you in half an hour. And everybody, good luck this week. Best of luck. I
thanks,
can't tell
John.
you
Thanks,
more.
Dale. We'll talk to you guys
Work for
later.
it, John.
All right. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Okay.